everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Amy, and I am on a financial freedom journey with my family. I share all about that more on my channel. And today we are going over our July budget recap. I just realized I haven't filmed one of these in a few months, so I did want to film one for July. Although based on my spending, I didn't really want to film this video if I'm being completely honest, because yeah, we went a little over budget, but I'm going to be completely honest with you guys about it. And as hard as it is for me sometimes to come on here and share when we fail, I do think it's important because we're real people and it happens. So that being said, let's go ahead and go over July's budget. So if you're new to my channel, I break our budget up into a few different categories. So our income's up here, then we have our fixed expenses in the purple here, we have our variable expenses in the blue, and then in this pinkish red is our sinking funds, and then our current financial goal that we're working on. So for our income, we had budgeted $7,700 for our W-2 income. This is just like my husband and I's regular income that we get every single month. We have salary jobs, so this really doesn't change very frequently. Usually like once a year if we get like a raise or like for the new year or whatever, but it's been pretty consistent at $7,700. That is after taxes, insurance, 401ks, all of those things. So this is like what actually hits our bank account. And then side hustle income, I never budget for any side hustle income, but we usually do have some sort of extra income. So this month that was $126. If you're curious, what is that $126? I share that on my Debt Free Friday every single week. So go check out that video if you're curious from the July Debt Free Fridays, and you'll see what that was broken out into. That leaves our total income that we were able to budget with for the month at $7,826. So let's go ahead and see how we spent that money for the month of July. We first had our mortgage, which was at $2,365. We did actually go ahead and bump our auto draft amount up. So going forward, this will actually be $2,400. But for now, it was still at the $2,365. We had been toying around with doing that for quite some time and just decided to go ahead and do it because it'll pay a little bit extra on our mortgage. And that's not a huge priority for us right now, but we did want to put like a little bit extra towards it just to pay it off like a little bit faster. But that'll be what we're doing moving forward. Then in my July budget with me, I did budget $99 for a credit card fee. We actually did end up canceling that card. We had our Southwest credit card, and that does have a $99 fee. But with all of the like things that Southwest is doing right now, I'm just not a fan right now of Southwest with all the changes they're making. And we just decided to go ahead and get rid of the card. It wasn't worth $100 to us. We actually switched over to using our Chase Sapphire Reserve card as our primary card. We used to use our Southwest card as our primary card, but the Chase Sapphire Reserve gives us better benefits than the Southwest card. So we switched over to that one for daily use and just ended up closing the Southwest card. So we did not have to pay the $99. I put daycare on here because it's like on my tracker online and I just keep forgetting to take it off. So we did not have daycare this month, although I guess it's a good reminder to keep it in here because we will have it moving forward in September, but we don't have any daycare right now. We do have 3 kids. They are almost 11, 6, and 3.5. My 3.5-year-old usually goes to daycare during the school year, but we did pull him out over the summer because with our other 2 kids, we did not have like reliable childcare really. So my husband and I are working like opposite shifts right now, just making it work with like piecing together childcare throughout the summer. So that is what we're doing. And we did not have any daycare expenses for this month. Next was our Peloton. So we do have a Peloton bike, and that was at $46. And I really want to get a Peloton treadmill. That is something that we will likely get by the end of the year I'm going to assume it's probably going to be with my bonus money because I don't really want to like allocate a ton of money to that right now. So we will likely be buying a Peloton treadmill by the end of the year. I've heard really good feedback from those of you guys who have one and have really enjoyed it. So I'm thinking that'll be a purchase. That won't change this amount though, because since we already have a Peloton bike, we already pay the fee. So it's no additional like monthly cost. We just have to buy the actual treadmill. So there's that. And electric and gas, we do have budget billing for this right now. So we're at $204 per month on the budget billing, and that is just over 2.5%. And then internet, we have internet just like the base, not the base plan. It's like the middle of the road plan. It's $60 a month. And that really just gets us basic internet. I don't know. It's fine. It works for what we needed to do. And we don't need like, I think they have one higher that's like $90, but we just don't need that because we've never really had internet problems. And honestly, part of me thinks it's like a scam. I don't know. I feel like the $90 one, I don't know if I believe that it's really that much faster, but maybe it is. I don't know. If you have like the highest level of your internet, let me know if you can see a difference. Maybe I'm missing out, but I don't think it's worth it personally for us. Then we have a recurring brokerage amount of $100 that gets transferred to our brokerage every single month. And that's great because it just like gives us a little bit of extra investing every single month. And we don't have a plan necessarily for that money, but we'll use it in the future, either for early retirement or stuff for our kids in the future. We'll figure it out. And then we also have a recurring donation that goes to St. Jude, which is a children's hospital, in the amount of $100 a month. We've had that for quite some time. I just have it on auto donate. So $100 a month goes there. Then we're getting into our variable expenses. So my husband and I both get $125 per person for spending every single month. That works out well for us. Obviously, like it would be cool to get more than that, but at this point, I feel like it's a good balance for us of like having a little bit of spending money every month, but also like still being able to achieve financial goals. Personally, that's more important to me right now in this time of life than like spending a ton of money. So 125 per person, that's 250 total for spending. And I just posted a post on Instagram actually a week ago at this point, about how we break down our accounts. So go check that video out. I talk a little bit about how we use our credit union to help us like break out all of our expenses and how we manage that. So we have like our joint checking account and then our personal spending accounts. So this money does get deposited directly into our personal spending accounts. So we don't like account for it or track it anywhere. It's just free money that we can use and spend as we want. I feel like it gives me that like impulsive, like the ability to be like a little bit impulsive throughout the month, which I think is healthy and good, because I am like an impulsive spender. And so having my own personal spending money that I don't have to like track or justify really helps me to like not sidetrack our entire budget. But yeah, long tangent, but we really enjoy doing it that way. And that's really worked for us for the last few years. Next category is our gas. So this is gas for our cars. We do have two vehicles. We have a Honda Pilot and a Honda CRV. And my husband does have to go into work every single day, 5 days a week. So he does spend a decent amount of money on gas. That was $283 in the month of July. So we were actually under budget by $17 for gas. And then we have groceries, which we had budgeted $1,000 for groceries. Now, that is a lot, but also we have our kids home right now, basically full time. So we did actually go over by $52, which isn't horrible, but when you see our eating out, you're going to be like, how did you guys consume that much food? Like it should be studied somewhere. But, we're a growing family of 5. We've got 5 people in our family. I don't know if I said that at some point in this video, but we have 3 kids who all eat a lot, especially my oldest, who is 11 and is very, very active. He plays baseball and football, and my daughter plays soccer. And so we are a very active family, and they eat a lot. So $1,052 for groceries. Then kids, fun and kids, we did $150 because it's the summer, and we normally do like $75, but we did $150, and we did actually come under budget a little bit in that category, which is great, by $34. So cool. $116 is what we spent on fun and kids. This is like a mix of things throughout the summer. So like events or birthday parties or whatever, little random things that we pick up for them, throughout the summer. So $116 is what we spent in July on that. Miscellaneous, we budgeted $250 for miscellaneous. This is just for like whatever doesn't have a category. I feel like there's always things that come up. We actually spent $306, and a big chunk of this, not a big chunk, but like $100-ish of this was actually a medical bill. So we did have that. I sometimes use our HSA for medical, but if it's like a smaller bill that I feel like we can cash flow, we usually do cash flow it. Now, while cash flowing it this time actually made us go a little bit over budget, I'm okay with that. I just try not to like pull a ton out of our HSA because we do want to save and invest it as much as we can. But For like those larger medical bills, we have no problem pulling out money from it, because that's what it's there for ultimately. But for like these little medical stuff, like we just try to pay out of pocket. So there was a little bit of a medical bill in there and then just some other miscellaneous stuff. I honestly can't even fully remember what we spent out of this category. I know there was a little bit of like gardening stuff that we had bought over the month, and just some other random things. So 306 is what we spent on like miscellaneous. And I know a lot of people on my budgets sometimes will be like, why is your miscellaneous category so big? Like you should really have like more detailed categories. We've done that before and it just didn't work for us. Like I prefer having kind of like larger buckets personally. This is just what works for us. And like I share this because I want other people to see that like one size doesn't fit all for budgeting. And like because some people really do want like the detailed categories, like maybe they would have like a gardening category or a medical category. But like for me, those things are not things that we're going to be like overspending on. So like I'm not going to be going to the doctor extra just for fun. Like, so like, I don't feel like we necessarily need like a dedicated category to it. But that's just how we do it. So there you go. That's what we do. Dining out, we had budgeted 300. Oh my God, you guys are going to kill me. This is so bad. Oh, I don't even want to share this, but I have to just laugh because we went so far over budget. This might be like one of the highest over budget categories we've ever had. Seriously. Well, maybe not, but like pretty close. We spent $456 eating out in July. Yeah. It reminds me of Tiger King. Did you guys watch that show where he's like, I'm never going to financially recover for this? I mean, we will. We'll be fine. But like, my God. It's hard for me to share that. But we went over by $156. Oh my gosh, that's funny. We went over by 56 and then 156. But yeah, I'm not like super proud of that. And it's hard for me to share that, but I share it to say that like, this is the reality of our life right now. And like with five kids, oh my gosh, I'm adding children to justify this. With 3 kids, it's hard. And there are times where we overspend. So that's the reality of it. $156 over budget, not great, not proud of that. Definitely could be doing better. But honestly, like also eating out is so expensive nowadays. Like I don't even feel like we ate out that much, but it's just so pricey. And like we went to other restaurants that we normally maybe don't go to as much. Like I think we ate out at Subway like a couple of times. And like for our family, it's really expensive to go there, even with like the app and the discounts and stuff. So it is what it is. Let's move on. I'm moving on. Are you moving on? Don't at me in the comments about it. Okay. I know that it was bad. So next category, sinking funds, which are way more fun because we're actually saving money this time. So we had set aside $100 for our car sinking fund. So this is for like any car maintenance or whatever, for our cars. We have 2 cars, obviously. So we have like car maintenance and other things that are coming out of there on the reg. Then we have kids, which we did $100. And that is for like the larger kids things. So like our fun and kids budget, where is it? Here. Our fun and kids budget here is more like just the monthly stuff, like the little stuff, the birthday parties, the like extra little things that they get. This category is more for like the big stuff. So like back to school, school registration fees, sports fees, like big stuff, like shoes, sometimes clothes, like anything like large is what we take out of the sinking fund. And this is kind of like a buffer so that we don't have to take out of the sinking fund as much. I don't really like to dip into my sinking funds that much. I like to save them as much as I can, especially for like larger things. So like my daughter is in soccer and her registration fee for soccer was like a few $100s. So we took that out of the sinking fund. But like the little things we don't try to take out of there. So that's that. But larger kids purchases come out of there. Then our home sinking fund, this is for like just anything home related. We do have a relatively new house that was built in 2022. So we don't have like a ton of expenses right now, but we're definitely trying to build this up for like the future because obviously we will at some point have more home expenses. So $100 a month is going in there right now. Vacation, $250 for the month of July was what we did. That is obviously self-explanatory for vacations. And then Christmas, $100. We've been doing $100 a month and we've been saving for Christmas since January. So we will have a good amount in there. Hello, 100 times 12 is $1,200. So that is what we will have at the end of the year. And I'm really excited about that because it helps us like guilt-free spend for Christmas. We can kind of like balls to the wall, in like November and December, spending money on Christmas for fun. So I don't know. I like to do that. And then whatever we don't spend, we always donate. So we clear this fund out completely. And every penny gets spent on Christmas, either for our family or for someone else's family. And we've been really enjoying doing that way. It kind of motivates me to like keep our spending in check because I love donating that money. And so it's like really a fun challenge for me to like see how much money we can donate while still balancing like doing our own Christmas. So that's what we do. And last category is our car fund. We were able to send $1,850 to our car fund, which was 23%, which is fantastic. Even with all of our overspending and overzealousness in the budget, we were still able to send $1,850 to our car fund, which I'm really, really pleased about. So, all that to say, let's go on a recap at the bottom here. Our total income again was 78.26. Our total expenses were 78.38, which leaves us at negative $12, which is fine. We round these numbers off. So these are like estimates and stuff. And then like we have some money in our buffer. So like it doesn't have to be perfect, but we're technically negative $12. But again, like these are all rounded up. So it's fine. It washes out. And then any excess money, like if we were to be positive here, we would just have that roll into our buffer. So that is all I have for the January. What the heck, girl? That is all I have for the July budget closeout. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I hope you enjoy my honesty and just candor with you guys. It's hard for me sometimes to come on here and share these things, but I do always want to be honest with you guys that we're not perfect and we definitely eat out way too much, essentially. So that's the deal with July. Let me know in the comments down below, what was your biggest overspending category? Did you overspend in your budget? And if you did, where did you overspend? I would love to hear about it to make myself feel better selfishly in the comments down below. I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.